Bluegrass on Stage welcomes Lou Reid and Carolina. Lou has a long history in bluegrass as a singer, songwriter, and just a great entertainer. So let's get picking. Lou Reid and Carolina is on stage.
I'm a grass lover, country through and through. Grass lover, baby, I'm talking bluegrass lover. Help me from the start. Sometimes I think that I've got the grass growing in my heart. I was born out in the country, raised on left land. Fiddle and the banjo, to me, that's where it's at. Well, I cut my teeth on Monroe when I was just knee-high. When Ralph Tennessee, great stranger, I break right down and cry. I'm a grass lover, country through and through. Grass lover, baby, I'm talking bluegrass lover. Now been from the start. Sometimes I think that I've got the grass growing in my heart. Really turns me on. Put a mandolin in my hand and I feel right at home. When I leave this world below for that mansion up on high, lay sunny side of the mountain at my funeral when I die. I'm a grass lover, country through and through. Grass lover, baby, I'm talking bluegrass lover. Happy from the start. Sometimes I think that I got the grass growing in my heart. The grass growing in my heart. Lord, Lord. She was the sweetest girl to ever come his way, and his thoughts were all to love her every night and day. They met when the springtime flowers were in bloom. They were dancing to an old-time fiddle tune. They were married just 2 days before he went to war, and he vowed to love and cherish her forevermore, while defending his great country in a land quite far away. The angels came and took his Jenny Lynn away. He pledged his heart to Jenny Lynn. His love for her will never end. He'll be faithful till the blessed day they meet again. God in heaven knows how much he misses Jenny Lynn. In a grave upon the mountainside, and he made himself a promise on the day she died, that his heart would never belong to another. He'd be true till they would both have rest together. But 50 years have passed and now he's old and gray, but it makes the painful climb to Jenny every day. He prays that the angels will be coming for him soon. If you are a sinner and you wander astray, if it's oft you stumble along the way, my friends, old Satan, he's a-using you. So listen and I'll tell you what you'd better do.
You better kneel down.
Well, you better kneel down and you better pray up.
And you better pray up.
All's the road up ahead, friends. Sometimes it's rough.
Better live your life.
You better live your life in the light of His love.
In the light of His love.
And you better kneel down.
Well, you better kneel down.
And you better pray up. If you're heavy laden and lonely at heart, if the road you're traveling is cold and dark, if you need a friend to walk along with you, well, listen and I'll tell you what you had better do.
You better kneel down.
Well, you better kneel down and you better pray up.
And you better pray up.
All's the road up ahead, friends. Sometimes it's rough.
Better live your life.
Better live your life in the light of His love.
In the light of His love.
And you better kneel down.
Well, you better kneel down.
And you better pray up.
You better kneel down.
Well, you better kneel down and you better pray up.
And you better pray up.
How's the road up ahead, friends? Sometimes it's rough. Better live your life in the light of His love.
In the light of His love.
And you better kneel down.
Well, you better kneel down.
And you better pray up.
That was Kneel Down and Pray Up from the Carolina Moon album, and we'd like to do another gospel song for you from the Carolina I'm Coming Home album. It's called The Wrath of God.
Well, the wrath of God is surely coming. When this old world, it starts burning, it's late to pray on that great morning. Then, whoa, sinner man, where you gonna hide? Then you'll cry when the rocks in the mountain, rocks in the mountain, rocks in the mountain, rocks in the mountain won't hear you, won't hear you. Then you'll die when the God's forever, God's forever. Then, whoa, sinner man, where you gonna hide? Well, you'll go down to the bank of the river, you'll jump in to drown your sin, then the wrath of God, it'll fall upon you. Then, whoa, sinner man, where you gonna hide? Then you'll cry when the rocks in the mountain, rocks in the mountain, oh, the rocks in the mountain, rocks in the mountain won't hear you, won't hear you. Then you'll die when the God's forever, God's forever. Then, whoa, sinner man, where you gonna hide? Wrath of God, it found on Moses when he hit the rock. His right hand made a man like him was to his punishment. Then, whoa, sinner man, where you gonna hide? Then you'll cry when the rocks in the mountain, whoa, the rocks in the mountain won't hear you, won't hear you. Then you'll die when the God's forever, God's forever. Then, whoa, sinner man, where you gonna hide? Well, the rocks in the mountains, well, the rocks in the mountains won't hear you. Then you'll die. Guess forever. Then, whoa, sinner man, where you gonna hide? Then, whoa, sinner man, where you gonna hide?
Thank you very much. That was Wrath of God from the Carolina I'm Coming Home record. And we're going to feature guitar player kicking off this next Larry Cordell number. And let me tell you who he is real quick. He makes his home in Holly Ridge, North Carolina with his wife and 2 children. And his hair is looking slick tonight because I did it myself. Thank you very much. We love him over there wearing his new pants. Too bad they didn't have him in his size, but it's all right. His name is Kevin Richardson. Over here on the mandolin, you already probably know who he is. He's been in bluegrass music now for 30 years, but we were lucky to get to play with him on the road when our van is working. We have a good time, but he makes his home in Union Grove, North Carolina. Mr. Lou Reid on the mandolin. Over here on the banjo, he makes his home in Austinville, Virginia with his wife and 2 kids. He's an engineer. He is wonderful to travel with, a lot of fun. He looks an awful lot like George Clooney, which is also great. Too bad he doesn't have his money, though, right? But we love him on the banjo. It's Trevor Watson.
And doing all the talking today for Lou Reid in Carolina is a lady named Christy Reid. She makes her home in Union Grove, or Olin, North Carolina, actually. And she's a wonderful singer, which I guess you'll get to hear a little later on. And she's a great bass player. Once again, Miss Christy Reid. Country music, rhythm and blues, old-time rock and roll. If it don't come from the bottom of the pot, it ain't got no soul. If it don't send the chill bumps racing up and down the sleeve, there ain't nothing in it for me. I ain't afraid to sweat up on my brow, a little bit on my hand. It's the only way of life I know, creed of the working man. If I can't look at what I've got, say I can't buy it on its sleeve. There ain't nothing in it for me. There ain't nothing in it if it don't lift me up. There ain't nothing in it when we trust everything to lust. Cause if you don't come with a heart and soul and a lifetime guarantee, there ain't nothing in it for me. Dangerous curves have always turned me on. But if her beauty's only skin deep, I'll soon be long gone. If it's too much to me, it'd be her top priority. There ain't nothing in it for me. When it comes to love, what I like is time to stay to last. If there can't be a strong commitment, think I'd rather pass. If the singers don't sing the song, you're real close to part harmony. There ain't nothing in it for me. There ain't nothing in it if you don't lift me up. There ain't nothing in it when you trust everything to lust. Cause if you don't come with a heart and soul and a lifetime guarantee, there ain't nothing in it for me. For me, no, there ain't nothing for me.
There Ain't Nothing in It for Me, written by the great Mr. Larry Cordell, who we are big friends with. The next song we'd like to do for you is off of our Time record that has been doing lots of good things for us and getting us here to talk with you all tonight. So we've been enjoying all the songs off this album, but this one's a lot of fun. It's about going home to the mountains and being in love and all that kind of good stuff. It's called The Mountain Way.
The flowers bloom along the path to the little mountain home. The mournful song of the whippoorwill reminds me you're still gone. The glitter of the city lights lead your life astray. I need your love and I want you back to live the mountain way. Does your love reach to the mountains or the hills too high to climb? Have the concrete canyons built to wall between your heart and mine? Do you ever think about me? Do you wander back someday? Come on home, sweet darling, and live the mountain way. Don't you miss the rocky cliffs we climbed with the mountain laurels blue? Smell of greenwood on the fire, the fields we used to roam. As sunlight gleams on eagle's wings to a secret waterfall. When daylight fades away the night, I miss you most of all. Does your love reach to the mountains or the hills too high to climb? Have the concrete canyons built to wall between your heart and mine? Do you ever think about me? Do you wander back someday? Come on home, sweet darling, and live the mountain way. Does your love reach to the mountains or the hills too high to climb? Have the concrete canyons built a wall between your heart and mine? Do you ever think about me? Do you wander back someday? Come on home, sweet darling, and live the mountain way. Do you ever think about me? Do you wander back someday? Well, come on home, sweet darling, and live the mountain way.
The Mountain Way, all right. The next song we'd like to do for you guys is a gospel number made popular by Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs. But Lou recorded it on the Lou Reid and Carolina album, and we'd like to do it for you right now. It's called God Loves His Children.
I was a stranger further out in sin. Didn't even have the love for God within. But now I've found him and I'm glad to say I love my Savior every day. God loves his children,
brother.
yes I know. He will protect you anywhere you go. Just call upon him, he will hear your prayer. God will protect you
Brother.
anywhere. Brother, take warning while you have time. Don't let old Satan lead you on down the line. Just tell old Satan to stay out of your way. God loves his children every day. God loves his children, yes I know. He will protect you anywhere you go. Just call upon him, he will hear your prayer. God will protect you anywhere. I'm glad I found you now, I'm on my way. I'm going to follow Jesus every day. Nothing can change me, and I'm glad to say God loves his children every day. God loves his children, yes I know. He will protect you anywhere you go. Just call upon him, he will hear your prayer. God will protect you anywhere.
That was God Loves His Children from the Lou Reid and Carolina album. The next song we're going to do is a song that Lou wrote back in the 80s, and it was originally intended to be an a cappella number. So we've revived it as such, and I would like to do it for you now. It's called "Oh Lord, Have Mercy on My Soul."
Oh Lord, have mercy on my soul. I don't want to reap what I've reaped, what I've sown.
Great God,
Don't send me to the fire down below. Oh Lord, have mercy on my soul. Like a voice crying in the wilderness, Lord, hear my plea for forgiveness. You saved Daniel from the den, you saved the world from sin. So when you call the roll, have mercy on my soul. Oh Lord, have mercy on my soul. I don't want to reap what I've reaped, what I've sown.
great God,
Don't send me to the fire down below. Oh Lord, have mercy on my soul. Well, I woke up this morning with an emptiness, realizing my faith for my weakness. Got on my knees in despair. My sin's too much to bear. Life's taken its toll. Have mercy on my soul. Oh Lord, have mercy on my soul. I don't want to reap what I've reaped, what I've sown.
great God,
Don't send me to the fire down below. Oh Lord, have mercy on my soul. Oh Lord, have mercy on my soul. I don't want to reap what I've reaped, what I've sown.
great God,
Don't send me to the fire down below. Oh Lord, have mercy on my soul. Oh Lord, have mercy on my soul. I don't want to reap what I've reaped, what I've sown.
great God,
Don't send me to the fire down below. Oh Lord, have mercy on my soul. My soul.
At a train station just a few miles west of Chattanooga, on a warm...
Bluegrass on Stage welcomes Lou Reid and Carolina. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Nice to be here.
Good to have you in the studio today. Now, Lou, you have a long history with bluegrass music. Where did you start?
I started in North Carolina at the age of 6. Learned to play guitar, playing like the Wildwood Flower and stuff like that. 'Cause my dad played bluegrass and country, and he played the harmonica and the fiddle. He played a little bit of everything. And my 2 older brothers played. And so I learned a little bit from that, and he used to take me to see Flatt and Scruggs when I was little, but I ended up being a big Beatles fan by 1964. And I started winning some talent shows in elementary school. And but then, as soon as I couldn't find people to play the rock and roll, so I ran into some guys and became friends with them, and they played bluegrass. Then I took a strong interest because I had someone in my age, my peers that played,
Right.
So I thought that was wonderful. So we had a band called the Bluegrass Buddies, which changed into a band called the Southbound. We did 1 record for Rebel Record. We did 2 actually, but the second one didn't come out. The band split up, and the record company was sold. Shortly right after that, Doyle Lawson called, and Jimmy Haley and I joined. We were in Southbound together, and the Bluegrass Buddies, and we joined up with Doyle Lawson along with Terry Lockle. And so then we formed Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver. We were partners in that group. And then I got a call from Ricky Skaggs, wanted me to join his band in 1982. And so June of 82, I went with Ricky Skaggs.
I didn't know that. And you played mandolin for Ricky?
No, I did on a tune or two. Christmas Time's Coming, something like that. But I played fiddle, banjo, acoustic guitar, and some mandolin.
Okay.
On certain songs. But I was his, tenor singer, high singer, backup singer. And stayed with him for 4 years. And I was on the road so much, 280 days a year. And I was married at the time, and we were expecting my son, Sean, which is now 21 years old. And so I got several calls to go with different bands, and one of them being Merle Haggard. But I ended up, my best offer I thought was the Seldom Sea. And they called me, and I said, let me think about it. Because, it was a big change for me. I'd already made that big change into Nashville. And I was doing a lot of studio stuff when I was in town. I could have done a lot of it, but I was never in town. But anyway, I decided after 2 years putting them on hold that they came to town and did Tennessee Performing Arts Center. And I auditioned with them and sang 2 or 3 songs. And they asked me, wait a minute, said, well, when can you start? And so I said, well, let me talk it over and I'll give you a call next week. So it had been 2 years I had them on hold, but I went to work with them in 1986. And I stayed with them for 6 years. Here I am.
So you really do have a long history as a professional musician.
That's all I've done. That's all I've done for a long time.
Really? Well, that's great. And you mentioned you're married, and Christy is your wife.
Yes.
Right.
Yay!
When Kevin talked to me about wanting to, because I actually, the thing is, I was going to say, when John Duffy passed away in 1996, I was asked by the scene, they used some people to fill in, because I had Carolina going, and they asked someone to, other people to fill in, like Dan Tominski and Don Rigsby and people like that. And I got a call from Ben Eldridge, and Ben said that he didn't know for a while what they were going to do, and they just used people to fill in. They called me to fill in too. Mm-hmm. And so then they asked me after the first show, they said, Ben called me and said, Lou, we really would like to keep the Seldom Scene together. I think John would want us to. And we'd just gotten off the band going again with Dudley Connell, Ronnie Simpkins, and Fred Travers. And we'd like to keep it going, and a familiar face would be nice back in the band, since I'd been there before. And I said, hey, I've been a big fan of the Seldom Scene all my life, from day one, 1971. I said, I'd love to help keep it going, because I love Ben Eldridge. He's a great guy. And so I decided to join. So I had a European tour to finish up. And in June, about the middle of June in 97, I started back with the Seldom Scene. I'm still with it.
Christy, tell me about your music history. Where did you fit into all of this?
Well, I'm much younger than Lou, so
So you can't tell.
back when he was in the 80s when he over the hill coffee hut.
Thanks, Patty.
Yeah, no problem.
back when he was, coming along playing music with Doyle, I was like 12 years old, eight or 9, something like that. And my mom would take me to see them. And so I have all of his records from when he was with Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver. For me, that was the beginning band. That was the Beatles of Bluegrass.
Okay.
So that was my first, I fell in love with it and bought a guitar, bought a little video to teach me how to play the guitar. I was about, 13, 14 years old. And then I met Kevin over here. Kevin and I have been touring, well, not touring, but we've been in a band together for going on 11 years.
Now, how did you two know each other? Just from the business?
From fiddlers conventions, contests, and
okay,
jams.
you didn't grow up in the same town or anything like that? No, okay, just through the music scene?
Yeah. I forgot. I think I was in Moxville. I was playing with my band, and our harmony was a little, not the greatest. We started.
They stunk. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, we did stink.
They didn't stink, but they smell kind of bad.
Kind of bad.
I don't think we never took baths, but anyway. I believe that's where we was at, and we was out playing. We heard her singing, and we all got together and was like, it'd be different to have her in the band because it would help the looks, obviously.
Oh yeah.
But our harmony, after she joined the band, it was like, 5-6 weeks, it was a whole different band. It was so much better. So.
You had a new sound.
Yeah.
They really thought they were good.
Okay, at that point, what did you play then, Kevin? Were you then
I played guitar.
You were still on the
Always,
guitar, and
yeah.
then Christy, you.
I was playing guitar then too.
You were doing guitar. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Who was like the lead singer? Was there a?
We kind of split them.
Yeah,
we split it, him and me.
I'd sing a few, she'd sing a few, and
Yeah,
then
we were really the only band.
then she got to where, she was the headline, so she'd sing a lot, I'd sing a little.
I see. Now, Trevor, did you know Lou and everybody back then? How do you feel?
I have no association. No, actually, I kind of came down a totally different path from these guys. So I'm from Virginia. They're all from North Carolina. And I grew up, obviously, with bluegrass music in the house. My dad played the banjo. My mom played the banjo.
Did you actually have a family band? Or
No. By the time I really started playing, my parents split up, and so there wasn't really a band that I played with. I just kind of had the banjo and would just sit down with records and learn how to play things by ear. And I was actually in Georgia at the time, and I moved back to Virginia and moved back with my dad. And at that time, he got me kind of back on track as far as really, teaching me how to learn from records and really, trying to become a better player. So
I see. Now, do you have other groups and other bluegrass bands that you've toured with?
No. When I graduated college, I actually went to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and worked at a show down there called the Carolina Opry. And stayed there for about 6 months, and it was a totally different atmosphere than what we do. It wasn't touring; you were playing the same venue every night, and kind of a canned list of songs and kind of a canned show, and it really got to be almost too a mundane type job that I didn't enjoy it as much as what we're doing here. So I kind of left the music scene for a while and actually got a real job, and then.
Okay, now I'm understanding that you're actually an engineer. You've graduated from.
Yes.
Okay, tell me how an engineer becomes a banjo picker in a bluegrass band.
Well, as a banjo picker became an engineer, so I was playing the banjo, long before I actually went to school and decided to make some A's and B's and graduate from college. So,
And then make some money.
Yeah. But no, I mean, music is really it's almost mathematical at times. There's a lot of numbers involved, and I think people that have a mathematical background or a knack for that are actually pretty good musicians or turn out to be. So. These guys.
When did you join? How long have you been in the band?
It's been about 4 years and I don't know, 2 months, 3 months.
Okay, so
it was in
a while.
August of 2003.
Great.
Their banjo player left, and there was a gentleman in the band at the time that knew me, so picked up the phone and called. And I wasn't really sure, if I'd be able to travel. I have 2 kids, a lot of football games and basketball and all that stuff. So talked to my wife, and we said, well, we'll try it and see how it goes. And 4 years later,
here we are.
That's great. Well, tell me about your family, your children.
Go ahead, Christy.
We have 3 between us. Of course, his son Sean is 21 years old, and he has gave us a grandchild this past year. So we're grandparents now.
Yeah,
Jamie
wonderful.
Lynn is going on 2. And then we have Reagan, who's 8, and Mackie, who is 7.
Just
And
birthday is today.
Today is
Oh,
Mackie's
nice.
birthday. Yeah.
Happy birthday, Mackie.
Yeah.
Sing it this morning.
Well, because we're not on the road all the time. We're only gone a couple of weekends a month. So, when things like this pop up with her birthday, or, we have the party the weekend before, and, Grandma helps out, and it makes it easy for us. But the people that are on the road 250 days a year, really, I don't know how they do it, because we have the perfect setup where we're not gone all the time.
Right.
So that's nice.
Now, are your kids musical?
They love music. They pick up the instrument, and they can play rhythm and stuff like on it, but they haven't really settled down into, to really want to learn and get technical. I think there's just so much going on in school right now with other things, that they get involved in. But I think they will. I'm pretty sure they will, because they love music. They sing with her all the time.
Do they?
They love
Do
it.
they ever go on the road with you? Do you ever say,
Oh,
hey, I
yeah.
want to go along?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. How about you, Kevin? Your kids? Are they showing promise of some bluegrass musicians?
Well, yeah, my daughter, she loves to sing, and she's actually just recently started picking up guitar. But she's 14, so
She's 14,
she's
great.
in that age, she's got guys calling, and
Oh, Lord.
it's either
You gotta put a stop to that.
sing and play.
Get that
or-
in the bud right now.
Yeah, I try to, but
And how about you, Trevor?
Yeah, my son is very musical. He hears a lot of things in recordings when we listen to it that I wouldn't expect a 10-year-old boy to hear. But my daughter, she listens and likes the newer music. She's into the hip hop dance, and she does gymnastics, so she's into more modern rock and rap.
And how old is
type.
she?
She'll be. Oh, I'm sorry. She just turned 8 in September.
Okay, she's young yet.
My son will turn 11 in January. So.
Great. Hey, Lou, what's one of the highlights of your career?
Well,
Right here?
Well, a really nice highlight is to have a band that you sort of, you're recording and performing your own, not maybe all of my own songs, but the material that we have a choice in, that other writers write. And it's songs that we selected, and to be able to do that and have one to go number 1 and be strong as time did for us. That's definitely a nice highlight. Well, the biggest one probably in my life is when I got to perform on the Grammy show with Bill Monroe. And I'm just, he's the father of bluegrass music. I never was part of the Bluegrass Boys except that one moment, And it was on, international TV.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just an honor to be able to be part of that. And and I got to help him down on the stage and everything. And that was a
That's
big
pretty
highlight.
exciting.
That was very exciting for me.
Yes. Now, actually, your CD time,
Yeah. Time really did well.
that's Lair.
I got the wrong one. I'm sorry.
Lair's going to love that.
it's great promotion.
Here we go.
Yeah, now you've got
Time.
some heavy hitters on that with your harmony.
Yeah, we have. I asked Vince Gill and Ricky Skaggs if they'd, sing a song with me, and they both agreed. Yeah, and to do it. And of course, I had to take it to Nashville. I
Absolutely.
didn't mind that at all.
Right. So, did you
Christy
get
and
a
I
chance to meet these guys, Vince?
Oh, yeah. I got to meet Vince Gill, and he's very attractive, just for the record.
Watch out, Amy.
Now, you said you'd mentioned in the show that this song charted for how long?
3 months it was number 1, the song itself, Time. And the CD itself went to number 2.
Ah.
Cherry Holmes kind of held us
Oh,
at
the
bay
Cherry
there.
Holmes.
But we beat them out on the number 1 spot. And here's the first one I did with these jokers.
It's gold.
It's gold.
This is
It's
gold,
gold.
Jerry.
It's gold.
It's gold.
And what's the name of
And,
that?
it's called Carolina, I'm Coming Home, which Christy and Kevin wrote years ago.
Really?
And
Really?
we just entitled the record that. So.
And all of our music, every one of these CDs, you can listen to on our website at LouReedandCarolina.com.
Okay.
And you can go to our MySpace page too and send us messages, and hopefully nice ones, America.
Okay, now you mentioned you met Lou, but you never mentioned when you guys kind of fell in love. I want to hear it.
Lord.
Let's hear it.
I think me and Trevor stepped out.
Well, we we were traveling together for, I don't know, maybe, a year or so before. I just found myself doing them, taking care of him, taking care of things for him.
And you didn't mind that, Lou?
You know.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah, because it would, he would be busy doing things, and I could see other things that I need to help him do. And so it just kind of fell.
She
in
did
that
the
way.
first website.
Yeah.
She designed the first website.
Great. Right.
So
And
she did a good job, and she'd never done one before.
he was going to Dollywood with the Seldom Seen, and he took me and Reagan and Mackie to Dollywood, and that was kind of our first big outing as a couple. And it wasn't on the road, it wasn't a band situation, it was us going. And so after that, I don't know, it was 2 years later, no, a year later we got married in Florida. It was kind of, we ran off and eloped.
Yeah, they didn't tell us about it.
Yeah, they didn't tell
We
us.
didn't tell anybody.
We were scared too.
I forgot where we was playing. We was playing at a
Saxapa Hall.
yeah.
Saxophone,
Yeah.
that's right.
I was sitting backstage and I was tuning up, and Lou was sitting there doing his little thing, and kept seeing a flash. I kept trying to see what it was. And I just finally said, "Louis, what's that on your finger?" He was like, "Well, it ain't nothing." I was like, he was like, "Well, we got married." And I was like, "Well, thanks for telling us." It was kind of cool though.
We didn't want to stress
It
anybody
almost
out.
broke up the band. We were so hurt over
I was
it.
so hurt.
We made it through it though.
The good day.
Trevor,
Uh-oh.
you look like George Clooney.
No.
Do you know how many little old ladies come to the shows and come up to him and say, "You look just like
No,
George
she's,
Clooney."
the lady said there was some look, a grimace I do when I'm playing, or something.
Yeah, that looked just like.
Yeah. So, no,
I
so-
hope George sees this.
yeah. Well, I've got it on my MySpace that I want to meet him someday.
Well,
so,
if he ever needs a stunt double, just call us. We'll hook
yeah,
you
I
up.
ride, I'm a pretty good motorcycle rider. So.
Kevin, who do you look like?
I guess a
Some-
homeless person.
Somebody's nephew.
When we go,
It's like
Mary-
everywhere we go play somewhere, somebody comes up to me and says, "You look like my nephew," or either is, "You're wanted for something. I've seen you on America's Most Wanted."
Do you have a fun road story you'd like to share with us?
We have too many fun stories.
I'll let Christy.
we never get on the road that something doesn't happen, but it's usually small things. Like the time we were down at Conway, and Lou and I have the typical husband-wife thing where he drives and I complain the whole time. You're not doing this, you're not doing that. So that particular night,
So,
I was like, I can't take it anymore.
Slow down, Lou. Your
I'm
phone's
driving.
close.
So I got the
I can read
keys
the
to
license plate.
I've got the keys to the van and I'm driving. We leave the restaurant, we're going to the hotel, and it's dark, and so I'm driving down the highway, and I was in the left-hand lane, and the left-hand lane ended. And it was a big curb and a median, and I jumped the whole van. all of us up in the-
It was like
So
a Bronco.
I don't get to drive anymore. So
Yeah.
I tore it up last year.
yeah, I'm getting used to the plate in my head after I hit the steering.
Thank you very much. This next song that we'd like to do was a song I got from a guy named John Cadley from New York. And this song was real good to us last year. It went to number 1 on the Bluegrass chart survey. And I guess that's the top 50 that they have. And we're just real excited that the song went to number 1 for 3 months in a row for us. And it's heard a lot on XM and Sirius Radio, and we're just real tickled about it. We'll do it for you right now, and it's entitled Time. When I was young, I dreamed of being older. Now that I'm older, I dream of being young. I dream of a time when there was no time at all, and I wonder where the time has gone. When I was young, I dreamed of how I'd spend my life. Now that I'm older, I spend my life in dreams. The things I've planned I've never done. The things I've done I never planned. And all the while it is later than it seems. Time, you're no friend to me. As you go ticking by, I can hear the enemy. Each day you add a number to the things I'll never be. Oh, time, you're no friend to me. When I was young, the road went on forever. Now that I'm older, I see it isn't so. Once I took my time, now time's taking me. No one has to tell me where it goes. No friend to me. As you go ticking by, I can hear the enemy. Each day you add a number to the things I'll never be. Oh, time, you're no friend to me. Oh, time, oh, time. Time, you're no friend to me.
Well, no bluegrass set would be complete without a Bill Monroe number, we feel like. And this is one that we enjoy doing. Roundabouts to the bluegrass festivals we travel. We've been all over the United States and Canada. And this is always a favorite of everyone. And it's called In Despair.
You made me love you, you made me want you, and now I need you all the time. My heart's so sad, and I'm so lonely, each night and day you're on my mind. You broke my heart, my little made me forget of all the others. You made me forget of all the past. You told me at first you really love me. My friends told me it would never last. You broke my heart, my little darling. When I called for you, you had another there, but a broken heart will keep on crying. I know you know I'm in despair. You broke my heart, my little darling. When I called for you, you had another there, but a broken heart will keep on crying. I know you know I'm in despair.
We just stopped, didn't we?
We sure did.
I think for the last song that we'd like to do for you guys, we were lucky enough to be invited to play on the Grand Ole Opry last year, and time was #1 at the time. So we performed that song with Ricky Skaggs on his portion of the show, and then we chose this song as our song to kind of go out with. And we wanted to go out with a bang, as they say, but we'd like to do it for you now. It's called Little Girl in Old Tennessee.
Well, a long, long time ago, I left home alone, down in the fields of Tennessee. There, the pretty little girl never ends to grow, down in the fields of Tennessee. Oh, the little girl of mine in Tennessee, I know she's waiting there for me. Someday I'll settle down in that little country town with that little girl of mine in Tennessee. Won't you beg me not to roam? You'll be sorry, dear, I know, for the way you treated me. But I rambled all around and nothing could be found. Strange place for her in Tennessee. Oh, the little girl of mine in Tennessee, I know she's waiting there for me. Someday I'll settle down in that little country town with that little girl of mine in Tennessee. Well, someday I'll wander back to that little mountain shack. That little girl will be waiting there for me. I can see her smiling face there standing at the gate. That little girl of mine in Tennessee. Oh, the little girl of mine in Tennessee, I know she's waiting there for me. Someday I'll settle down in that little country town with that little girl of mine in Tennessee. Oh, the little girl of mine in Tennessee, I know she's waiting there for me. Someday I'll settle down in that little country town with that little girl of mine in Tennessee. Thank you very, very much.